I was listening to the story about, it was a story of a family in Washington, and the little boy called the Bigfoot the Cowboy Man. And he had, apparently it had made an effort to steal this kid. And it hit me. My children were in that playpen behind me with nothing but a mosquito net over them. It could have crept up behind me and taken both of my children, and I wouldn't have known.
Father just got like a Mustang or something from Wyoming, okay? He had it out in the corral because he couldn't put it in the barn in the stalls with the other horses. It would kick and made all the other horses nervous. Had a Seminole Indian working the horse, trying to break it every day. So they had it out in the corral. This skunk ape snuck up behind this horse and grabbed it on its hind quarters. This particular horse kicks out, jumps over the corral, runs into the pasture, to get away. At this point, the rancher's out there just blasted away with the dirty. Skunk ape runs into the swamp.
I went up there one day after that, or 2 days after that. I went up there and sat in the silence up there, and I'm telling you, man, it was free. It was crazy. There was a crazy vibe up there still. I did what I could to kind of get things under control, but I told her, I said, you need to get off this property. I feel like no matter how strong you are, it's almost like standing in the ocean. You can't stand still without moving your feet. You're going to get knocked over eventually, no matter how strong, whatever. You can't withstand a barrage of weird spiritual energy.
What's up, everybody? Look who I found. You're muted.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, Lisa?
Oh, my gosh. It has been a week. I've been to Nashville for the world premiere of God's Country Song, out now on PureFlix. So everybody, please go watch this movie. And it's really good. The music on it's phenomenal. The soundtrack will drop on country music radio probably within the next 2 weeks. And it's amazing. Great movie.
Awesome. Yeah, you were telling me about that right before we came on, and I'm going to go and check it out. And we'll put the link up and everything so that people can go and check that out. Yeah, I know you're proud of it.
I'm so proud. So proud of this movie. And y'all might see a familiar face in it, because that's the one good thing about producing movies. Sometimes you can just throw yourself in it on a little role.
Oh, so you're in there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yep. I didn't know that. Very cool.
Little teeny tiny part in it. Yeah.
So no Academy Award nominations or anything?
No Academy Award nomination at all. Not for this one. And if I ever win an Academy Award, it'll be for writing and directing, not acting by any means.
Yeah. Take it however you can get it.
Exactly.
All right, let's do all this fun stuff. I want to ask everybody to hit that subscribe button. If you have not done so already, we would appreciate that. If anyone out there has had an encounter with the weird, the spooky, cryptids, anything weird and cool like that, you want to come on and share it with us, all you got to do is shoot me an email to wayne@paranormalworldproductions.com. That's the first step in getting on here and sharing your encounter. Well, we'll go ahead and talk about the website. If you guys don't mind, head over to paranormalworldproductions.com. Show some love over there to not only this show, but the other shows as well. We added a new podcast to the Paranormal World Productions label here recently. The Basement Hangout guys, Chad and Bob, are now, their show Basement Hangout is now part of Paranormal World Productions, and talks with them and getting them to come on, and we're going to do some like cross collaborating, I think. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But yeah, head over to paranormalworldproductions.com and show some support. We would appreciate that.
Yes.
My organization, Manimal Research, still have the Facebook page, Manimal Research on Facebook. If you would like to become a member over there, we'd love to have you come and talk about some of your thoughts on Bigfoot and other cryptids and stuff. We'd love to have you. Just head on over there. All right. I was telling Lisa a little bit before that I purposely did not schedule a guest for tonight. I wanted to do a show, just us, and we are going to have Brian on, but Brian was busy tonight and couldn't make it. But I just want to talk about a few things in the Bigfoot community. One being the possible relationship between Bigfoot and horses. It's one that I believe is there. I believe there's a connection, and I'll get into that. And also the whole Paradolia, which is
Oh,
killing
I,
the community.
it is killing the community because I've been seeing this. Like I said, I'm in pre-production for a movie right now, and y'all, this one's everybody's going to love this one because it is about a cryptid, and that's all I can say about it. But I've been seeing some stuff on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook that much, but just these pictures. I mean, and I know you zoomed one out. I mean, it was these guys in a mask, which is total BS, the hoaxers, which is, I think, a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Pareidolia, I mean, yeah.
And I realized someone brought to my attention that Paradolia on a couple of the links here is spelled incorrectly. I realize that Paradolia is not a word that I use daily, and that is that's the spelling that my phone pulled up. So I just went with it, tried to change it. It let me change it on YouTube, but it wouldn't let me on Facebook. So I'm just this dumb redneck from Tennessee. I don't care.
Wow.
But I
It's just,
understand what it is.
yeah, exactly. And it's ridiculous. And yeah, we can all see. I mean, I'm at my brother's cabin right now, and I could look in the logs right now, and I can see faces in the wood. If I really wanted to, trick my mind into seeing a knot in the wood, I could make it into a face.
Yeah,
So,
Kelly Shaw here has put the amount of bushes I've seen that's supposed to have face in it. That's exactly what we're talking about. Thank you, Kelly.
yeah,
Um, I mean, a part of me thinks that these people really believe, like they honestly believe that they're seeing that there is a face in there.
mm-hmm.
But what gets me is if you are just purposely taking pictures of a wood line or doing like a panoramic, swaying around, taking pictures or a video and then screenshotting pictures, if you don't see it there the first time, chances are it's not there.
Yeah.
You're not going to go back later in the picture that you took 6 months ago and find a creature that was 10 feet away from you watching you.
And they're not going to be 10 feet away from watching you.
And chances are, if it was that close, you would have known.
Yeah.
You would have known that it was there. And I mean, I don't know I think a lot of these people really believe that they're seeing something, really believe that there is something there. So you can't really fault them for that. But we already get so much shame in this community. We get looked down on so much. We get called crazy and hillbillies and all this stuff. And we're not helping ourselves by showing pictures like this.
And if they would just critically, I mean, you have to critically look at, you have to rule out, you have to do it in a scientific approach and rule out everything. And they're just not doing it. They're throwing up a picture of a tree and, oh, look, and then the circles, the little circles. And
if you need a red circle in your picture, it's probably not the best evidence in the world. No. But I was giggling here at Naoma. God, I love Naoma. Pop this up here. I did too many drugs when I was young to trust anything I see that doesn't step out of the bush and shake my hand or chase me. Leave it to Naoma.
Well, and she also said this, which I thought was hysterical. It's like, put the red marker down, son, before somebody gets hurt.
That's right. I didn't even mean to really start with the whole Paradolia, or however you pronounce it. Didn't really mean to start with that, but kind of got off on a tangent a little bit because it just bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah. Because like you said, we're only as good as our reputations, and we're already looked at as being on the fringe, and we don't need the fringier fringe making it worse for the rest of us that are really trying to critically and logically get solid proof about this creature's existence.
Now, do you? And I want to put this as lightly as possible because I don't want to offend anyone because mental illness is a real thing, and so many people suffer from different you know different aspects of it. I went through about a depression in my life. I was diagnosed with a major depressive disorder and an anxiety disorder after my divorce years ago. I took it very, very hard, lost everything. I know mental illness is a real problem, and it runs in my family. Depression does.
Yeah.
But do you think that there's some kind of mental illness in play with these people that maybe they want to see something so badly that they're making themselves? Do you feel like that could be an issue?
I don't think it's the mental illness. I think it's, you're hitting on it, that they're really, really wanting to see something. And I think it's almost like a psychosomatic, like pregnancy, how some women like believe they're pregnant, they have morning sickness, they gain the weight, things like that. So I think these people are going out and really believing that they're seeing something. But
Do you think that they believe that they're seeing something?
yeah, I really think they believe that they're seeing something. And then I think there's some people that are just freaking hoaxers and want attention.
Yeah, I believe that there are those people out there that they realize that if you go out there any time of day and take a picture of the woods, you can find something that resembles a face.
Yeah.
And maybe this is how they get their attention
Yeah.
because it seems like it's always the same people. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call anybody out by name. That's not what I'm about. I'm not trashing people or putting anyone down. But there are people that when I see a notification that they have shared something, I just shake my head. I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
I like
Pat
what
here.
Squatch saw.
Yeah, that's Pat.
Yeah.
Squawk Pat just says it's gullibility and a strong desire for evidence. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like these people, I really believe they want to participate. They want to be credible and help us solve, this mystery. Just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it's, I shared with you the other day, I heard my first tree knock a few weeks ago. And I ruled out everything, even before I told you about it. And I went through and ruled out everything it could be before I even told anybody about it. And then the only thing it could have been was tree knocks. And then I did hear a faint whoop, and it was coming from two different sides. So a tree knock was going down the hill, and then another one was answering behind the hill, and the whoop was down the hill. So, and I think because I'm at my brother's cabin, it's in the middle of the national forest. I'm surrounded. I mean, I'm surrounded by national forest. It is
It's a
so hard
Mark
to get in.
Twain.
Mark Twain National Forest. Yeah. And it I mean, it kind of unnerved me. This is my first time hearing one, but
Oh yeah.
there could be nothing. It couldn't be anything else. I know what a woodpecker sounds like. I know what bird sounds like. There's nothing. And the woods just went, you hear that the woods went quiet, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But before I told anybody about it, I'm like, okay, did I really hear that? Did I really think about it? Did I really hear that? And I heard what I heard,
Yeah, yeah. And I put this up there because I didn't want to forget about it. It's a good comment here by Grasshopper, ETAI. I'm not sure what that means. But he says some are just so socially needy, they just want to fit into something. I
Yeah.
think that's very well put. They want to be included. They see people that are gathering evidence and they want to do their part and gather evidence. And, I commend that. I think
Oh, I
that's
do
awesome.
too.
People are getting out in the woods and getting the exercise and the fresh air and getting to nature and enjoying this stuff and doing their part. They're just, maybe you're not in the right area,
Right.
go
And be
somewhere else.
critical of your evidence that you do gather. I mean, really
Yes.
look at it. Show it to somebody else. Hey, do you see something in this picture?
I
You
think that's a
know?
great idea. Yeah. Show it to someone before you post it. And I just think a good rule of thumb is if you I'm guilty of it. I have outlined things with the marker before, like prints and stuff to
Mhm.
kind of help you show it. I'm guilty of that, but probably a good rule of thumb if you have to circle it, don't share it.
Yeah.
And
And
because it's
like on prints, I mean, but you do have a physical thing that you can touch and see and look at. And if you're taking a picture of it, sometimes like on the prints, can, show the, outline of
yeah,
it. Because sometimes it's hard to see when you when you do take a picture of it.
yeah. Before I forget, I want to share this picture that was sent in to me, and I'm looking the guy up because Craig Roach. I asked his permission to share this picture, and he sent it to me. He also sent it to Dr. John Baranchuk, and John is one that contacted me about it because it's pretty damn unnerving to think about.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it.
It is. I mean, it's not a Bigfoot. It's not Pareidolia or anything like that. It's a picture of possible evidence. But let me just pop it up here and y'all look at it. All right, I should have been a little better prepared. There it is. Look at the size of that rock on top
Oh,
of
wow.
that fallen tree.
That's interesting.
How the hell did that rock get on top of that tree? And again, all of the credit goes to Craig Roach, a guy who I've been talking to back and forth on Messenger quite a bit. He actually lives here in Tennessee. This picture was taken at Standing Stone State Park, which is a hotbed of Bigfoot activity. I
Okay.
know other organizations hold some investigations there, but yeah, I mean, and I was talking to John Baranchuk about this, and he said it really unnerved him because I don't understand how that could got there other than someone or something picking it up and setting it there. And anything that can pick that up, I mean, what is this? Is it a sign, a show of brute strength?
I don't know that's a big, and you can tell that tree has been fallen for a long time
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
moss and the rot on it. And that looks like a
That's a
pretty big
boulder.
freaking boulder. Yeah. And the tree's big too. Like you can use this, like looking at the tree, like scale it to the other trees and things around it. That's a pretty big freaking tree.
Yeah, yeah. What is Naomi saying here? I thought someone was offering maybe an explanation to this, but I don't see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, if anybody out
Grasshopper.
there, what?
Somebody says that they have the dimensions
Okay, the
and
down
then
tree is like 75 years old,
yeah.
so maybe loggers.
Oh, this is Craig on here. Hi, Craig.
Okay, Craig. Okay, yeah. Did you send me the
Yeah.
dimensions?
Yeah. What are the dimensions?
24 inches wide by 20 inches thick by 69 inches long.
Wow.
Is that 69 inches long or 69 feet long?
I don't know. Here's another, the tall one here locally, loggers commonly put big boulders on old stumps. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That's the first explanation that I've heard. Tall ones, does that look like the kind of stump that they would do that to? Because, I mean, I wouldn't consider that a stump. That's a down tree.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, unless they were marking, I mean, why would they put them up there just to move them out of the way? Maybe with a skidder or something. I don't know about logging.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why I love our audience members. Maybe they can tell us.
It says loggers like to mess with people.
So is that the
Well,
only explanation? Loggers like to mess with people?
yeah. But I can see if they were moving it out of the way of like a skidder maybe or something like that. I don't I mean, that is a logical explanation that they would be moving a rock out of the way. But I don't see any other, that doesn't look like it's been a log forest though.
That's true. That doesn't look like that's been logged. I mean, we don't have a great picture of it, but it doesn't look like there are other trees that were cut down. I mean, there's definitely trees around it, so
Yeah, exactly.
maybe
And
it's
it's
gone.
on a hillside. I don't know. It's on a hillside. I mean, most active logging areas,
Craig
you
is saying
know,
there's no track marks like heavy equipment marks
yeah,
in the area either, because a man could not pick that up. I
no.
mean, that's upwards of a ton, maybe
It's
over
a
1,000
big
pounds, I'd
freaking
say.
boulder.
Yeah,
It's a big boulder.
because it's on a small knoll.
I'd like to see a 360 of the whole area. Craig, if you've got a picture of it, if you've got a 360 picture, that would be great.
Now, Grasshopper is also saying, now this is the first time I've ever heard this before, but I've heard of this phenomenon presented as evidence before. Loggers also turn stumps upside down and ram them into the ground with the roots in the air. How many
I
times
didn't
have
know.
you heard of people saying that that's a sign of Bigfoot activity?
Yeah, a lot. But then also Brown Dwarf says that, where'd it go? Nope, hang on. There we
There we
go.
go.
My logger neighbors have been spooked in the woods, but he won't tell me what it was. When I was in law enforcement, I had a guy that I was questioning one time tell me he was a logger and he actually saw a Bigfoot in the woods up in Newton County, Arkansas. Because I would always ask people, about seeing, Bigfoot, especially when they lived in like really rural, far flung areas. And he said he saw one logging in the woods one time, which Newton County is like a hotbed of Bigfoot activity here in Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, Carson here is saying tall ones, yes, they do. We did stuff like that when we logged. Exactly the same. It was a constant for the loader guys. What are you talking about, Carson?
I think he means like the loaders would just see maybe like where they could show their loading skill, maybe moving rocks around.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of equipment would you use to pick up a boulder that size? I mean, a
I
front end
mean,
loader,
a
you could probably.
skidder, maybe. I mean,
How would you get it into that area? Again, we need a better picture.
yeah.
Craig, if you have any pictures of the area, I know that you plan on going back, and it's so close. I might go back with you and go back to this area and take some better pictures of the surrounding area. I think we'll get a better idea and be able to say more definitively. Because if the area hasn't been logged, then we can rule out loggers, I
Right.
believe.
Right. I don't know. That's an interesting picture. I mean, it's just all adds more questions,
Yeah.
But that's what needs to happen with pictures like this. You need to rule out every possible thing that it could be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Pat, Squatch Talk doesn't think Bigfoot is in play here. Again, I'm not going to rule it out. I haven't seen the area. I know that Bigfoot is in this area, supposedly, and I don't have any pictures. Craig, if you would, buddy, send me some pictures of those prints that you took. I know you're still watching. I don't think that you've sent me the pictures, but they're on Facebook, and I don't have the time to go and look for them. But he's shown some pictures of some pretty good prints that John was looking at and said he could see a mid-tarsal break in some of them. And there's definitely there's like a ridge behind the toes to where commonly you would see the mid-tarsal break. So if he can send me that, I'll take a second and load those pictures up.
Cool.
But yeah, I just thought this picture was really, really interesting. But hearing now, but I'm glad that people are putting out some possibilities, because I wouldn't have thought loggers. I've never logged before. I've never been a logger. Didn't know that They do that. I used to work construction, and I do know that, we get bored and do stupid stuff for no reason.
Right.
So I would imagine, the logging industry, they would do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. He sent me those pictures. Lisa, you got something you can talk about for a minute while I pop these
Yeah, I
up?
do. I mean, we can talk about. I could take questions from everybody. I mean, what do y'all want to talk about tonight? This is like open mic night tonight. So, what are y'all doing? What do y'all want to talk about? What can we do more on this podcast? What would y'all like to see? Would you like to see more ghosts? Would you like to see more Bigfoot? Would you like to see more dogmen? We're just throwing it out to y'all tonight. So ask away. Any recent sightings in Baxter County, Arkansas? Not that I know of, but I will ask a friend of mine that's up in that area and searches that area. Facebook user ghost hunting. Yes, that is my thing. Is I love the ghost hunting. I was at Loretta Lynn's ranch on Wednesday. That place I feel is haunted as hell. If any of y'all have ever been there in Tennessee, to Loretta Lynn's ranch, it is, the tour guides that I spoke to said that place is so haunted. That was one of the reasons that Loretta moved out of the house and built a house behind the original mansion, is because it was so haunted, and they do not do tours upstairs anymore because of the activity that's upstairs. So that place is very interesting. I got a very eerie feeling walking
Now,
around
where
the
is that
ground.
at? Where's her house?
It's in Waverly, Tennessee. It's like about an hour west of Nashville. And that place, the tour guide was telling me, is just haunted as hell. They don't do tours anymore upstairs. One of the reasons she built a house behind the main house is because of the activity in it. And Ghost Adventures did a episode on it, and they captured a lot of stuff. But just the whole grounds there is just eerie. I mean, you just get a feeling walking around the grounds that it's haunted AF.
Yeah. I'm glad that you asked that question while I was putting those up, because it looked like we got quite a few responses.
Yeah.
Kelly Shaw said, "Dog man." You heard the ghost hunting and stuff like that. So I appreciate that, guys. It helps out.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pop these pictures up from Craig. This is one of the prints that he took. Look at that big toe. What appears to be a big toe. And look at the kind of the ridge right behind the toes.
Can you zoom it? Can you zoom that picture any?
I can't on here. I can take a zoom picture and put it back on if you want me to do that.
Yeah, if you can zoom it, because I see the big toe, but I want to look at the inside of the track more. If you can do that.
Okay, give me just a second.
Because to me, that the toe part actually looks like the heel of a boot. Like if you flip the picture, it looks like the heel of a boot.
No, bear with me just a second.
No, you're good. Sandra Piper, I seen a documentary on Loretta Lynn's haunted house, not Ghost Adventures. Oh, I would like to see that, Sandra, if you can remember what that was on. Because that place, I'm telling y'all, that place is haunted as hell. It just creeped me out walking around there. And Neoma, we live not too far from Loretta's property. Husband's delivered supplies there.
That's as zoomed in as I could get it without distorting it.
Yeah, the toe to me, I
didn't zoom it much at all.
I don't know, just the toe is so defined around the top part of the toe that just looks like the heel of a shoe to me.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be that small. I mean, that'd be like a toddler's boot. Because look at his hand. Look how small that
Yeah.
heel would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but over to the left of it, you can see what looks like other toe prints.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was wanting. That's kind of what I was wanting to see in the middle, part of it. Now
Could
that's
be water.
interesting for sure.
The tall one says it could be water runoff. Notice the slick next to the big toe.
Yeah.
Okay. Supposedly, Craig found a trackway. He found several of these prints in a row. And again, I can't say this enough. Standing Stone is a hotbed of reported activity. The BFRO has held multiple investigations there. I don't know how you feel about the BFRO. Everyone has their own opinions, but they have held investigations there. So whatever that tells you, I believe they're in that area. I talked to several people. I've taken many reports from out of Standing Stone.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I wish, because there's like a shadow. See that shadow on
I
it?
do, yeah.
From that,
I
I wish he could have shot that better where we didn't have that shadow, and especially like his hand. I know he's doing the hand for size, but it's creating curve in the pitch. Well, there we go. But the
Yeah,
shadow's still there.
that's definitely a curve. That looks like a foot to
Yeah.
me. It looks like a
Yeah.
foot.
That picture without the hand is a better picture.
And then you throw the hand up beside it and look at the size of that bad boy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I love critical thinkers, and we obviously have a few in the audience tonight. Pat being probably the most critical that I know, and brown dwarf, grasshopper, tall ones. I love audience members like that challenge these things, because that's what we need to
Yes.
do. We
Yeah.
don't need to take everything that we get and say, look, that's definitely a Bigfoot. We got to start rolling stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, I mean, as big as that thing is, I mean, just think about the weight, distribution on that foot
Oh,
with
yeah.
the, into the ground. I don't know. I mean, if the ground was really, really dry, I mean, that's a lot of weight. If it was more of a wet, kind of muddy thing, then that's not really much of a weight sinking down, into the ground. That's what I always look at, is like the weight distribution on a track.
Yeah. Grasshopper said, I challenge getting older, but I'm losing that one. Me and you both, buddy.
Naomi says, I put my hand against my heel and only covered 3 fingers, and I have a pretty fat foot.
All right. Well, it looks like Miss Janice Carter has joined us. How are you doing, ma'am? I haven't talked to you in forever. I'm glad that you are. Well, I hope you're doing well, but you are here to offer your opinion. Wayne, this is Jan. That's a footprint of the son of the male we call Shewig?
Shewig?
Up there at Cooper Mountain. Shewig. Okay. Janice has done a lot of investigations out in the Standing Stone area.
Now, what part of Tennessee is that?
Y'all could probably tell her better than I can. I know that my grandparents used to live in Sparta, Tennessee, and it was above Sparta. I think it's like headed toward Nashville, maybe, but I believe it's not too far from Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Like northern Tennessee.
Yeah.
When we had our film premiere Tuesday night, we were in Franklin, Tennessee, and there's a lot of woods in Tennessee, especially the eastern part. Of Tennessee, in the mountains and stuff. It's a big state.
Yeah. There's definitely Bigfoot activity here.
Yeah, and there's the habitat for it with all the lakes and the rivers and stuff. There's a lot of habitat.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to take this one down now.
But no, I'd like to see more prints of that. I love looking at prints. I mean, I think prints. I mean, you found some prints, right?
Yeah, I've casted a couple.
How does that feel when you do find the prints? What's
It's
going through your
exciting.
mind?
It's exciting. I'll be honest. I've never found a great one that's like Jeff Meldrum worthy or Cliff Brackman worthy, anything that they would be impressed by. But
Yeah.
I found some that I believe to be prints and that were definitely shaped like a human foot, just not massive. But it's exciting. It really is. And I've casted a few. I enjoy doing that. And let me put this out there because I'm sure Craig would appreciate it. Craig is not a Bigfoot researcher. He was looking for something to do, a new hobby that was free, like inexpensive to do. So he took up hiking, and he lives near Standing Stone and started hiking in there and came across that print, and a little ways up came across that rock and started looking into possibilities, and it's led him down the Bigfoot path. So, not saying that Craig is trying to sell anybody. As Pat says, there's no Bigfoot sauce here that he's he's trying to stir in. But yeah, he found this stuff, and I appreciate him reaching out and sharing it, and probably going to go up there and check it out with them. I know John is talking about it.
Yeah.
All right, the other part of what I wanted to talk about tonight is, and maybe since we got a good audience tonight.
Yes, we do have a big audience tonight.
It's big for us, being on a Friday night. There's so many other shows, and people are out on date night and stuff. We've talked about moving it off of Friday nights because the other nights we do a lot better than we do
Yeah.
on Friday. But this is a good Friday night.
Well, I wanted to throw this out to you just because of my film schedule right now. So we start filming July 5th, and my nights off are Monday, Tuesday. So I'm throwing that out there. If maybe Monday, Tuesday nights, just until I get this film in the wrapper.
All right.
But I'm looking at some questions.
Yeah, I was too. Repeat that, Lisa.
Oh, which one about the question?
No, what you just said. I was reading the question.
I said on my off nights while I'm doing this film are Monday and Tuesday nights, and I wanted to see how everybody felt about doing either a Monday or a Tuesday night. Just so I can hop on, and I've missed y'all. I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've been on, and I've missed everybody.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. Y'all, audience members, let us know what y'all think about maybe a Monday or a Tuesday. Because right now I'm pretty much open to any night, and it just seems like Friday night's not working. Maybe the topic for tonight is what got people interested and showed up, but I'm glad that they did. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the possible connection between Bigfoot and horses. And it seems like we've got some pretty knowledgeable people in here tonight, offering their opinions and what they've seen. So I'm hoping they can weigh in on this as well. But let me ask, what is the best piece of video evidence that we have for
The
Bigfoot?
Patty film.
The Patterson Gimlin.
All day long. That's our biggest.
What is the best piece of audio evidence? And you being new, Lisa, you might not be
I don't know that answer.
The Sierra sounds.
Oh yeah, the Sierra sounds.
Ron Moorhead, he captured. What do both of those things have in common?
Horses.
The Patty film, you had a couple of cowboys riding around in the mountains for I don't know how many days they were out there at that point, but they hadn't bathed. I'm sure they were smelling pretty ripe. They were on top of a horse that might have been masking that smell. But I believe the horse was masking the smell of the cowboys. And Patty, I believe that there's just some kind of attraction that Bigfoots have to horses. And she got the whiff of this horse or these horses and went to investigate, not smelling the cowboys because, they didn't have soap on them. They weren't clean, didn't have the chemicals. They'd been out in nature for days. And I'm sure all she smelt was the horse. Well, she goes, and all of a sudden, coming up to him, she sees these horses, and oh shit, there's a couple of cowboys on these horses. I gotta go. And that spooks the horse, throws Roger Patterson off. Everybody knows how it played out. But I really feel like horses played a role in that. We've heard other stories about maybe Bigfoot's possibly molesting a horse. We've heard stories about people finding horses' manes braided and not
Mhm.
how seeing huge handprints on the back of horses like
Right.
this morning. I believe that there's some kind of either fascination or yeah, Pat thought I was going a different direction with this. And that other direction could be the possibility. It could be the link that they have. I mean, they could be attracted to him. I don't know. But I really believe that if someone wants to get more good footage like that, maybe go out on horseback. And I'm sure people have tried and it hadn't worked. But I really think that the horses played a role in that. And then you go to the audio, the Sierra sounds, they were way up in the Sierra Mountains. They couldn't get there by vehicle, and it was too far to walk. So how'd they get there? They by mule or horse. I'm not sure if they had horses or not, but I know they carried their supplies in by mule. And then those mule or horses, whatever, had to stay there for the days that they were there. And these things were getting close to them. Close now. Everybody's heard the audio. You could tell these things were pretty close. I think they were attracted to the horses. I really
Do you,
do. And
do you think it's the smell? I mean, like I grew up with horses. I love that horse smell. Horses do have a unique smell to them. Anybody that's been in barns, anybody that's been around
yeah,
horses, that horse smell. So maybe they're attracted to the smell, or maybe like, I mean, I know a lot of people hunt off of horseback because you do get to get in some areas where you
hmm
can't normally, get into. Um, and it's peaceful. Like if you're riding through the woods, I mean, it's very quiet. I mean, I've rode up on a bear before in the woods. That was a rodeo. Rode up on a bear sitting in a mud puddle like a person, just sitting in a mud puddle like a person. And my horse reared. I kept controlling my horse, but my dog ran off. The horse is trying to like dump me. The bear ran off into the woods. I mean, it was a freaking rodeo. But I mean, we rode right up on that bear. That bear had no clue. We came around a
really,
bend and that bear was sitting right in the middle of a mud puddle.
wow,
So it could be just the fact that, they were kind of stealthy. I don't think with the Patterson film, I mean, they had a lot of equipment. So I don't know how stealthy they could have been with like all the equipment they had. But I mean, when you are riding in the woods, you're pretty stealthy.
yeah, yeah. And I believe I mean, if you're not loaded down with perfume or cologne or like real strong soap, the horse is huge. It's going to cover your scent,
Yeah.
I believe. I mean, for the most part. Naoma commented a little while back, says some people say that the witch's knot and horses' manes are done by Bigfoot. I
Yeah.
don't know what a witch's knot is.
It's kind of like a braid, like a little twisty, like if you just took your hair and just tied it into a knot, it's just
hmm
it's just a knot.
And Craig said that there were horse tracks in the area. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people ride their horses in Standing Stone. So,
Yeah, I had a friend of mine. She has a trail riding facility in Mountain View that's in Stone County, Arkansas, and she had a big sighting around her barn one time. She has a whole corral and barn full of horses. So
hmm
I don't know. I think you're right. I think there probably is a connection somehow
I
to
mean,
another. Maybe they're just curious.
somebody else has had to make that connection before and looked into it more than I have and been better equipped to look into it more than I have. And I'm just curious if anyone has seen anything. I know Grasshopper here said he asked Pat, did you see? Let me just put it up there. He said, Pat, did you see that Colorado show with that guy talking about Bigfoot and horses? I would like to see that.
Was that the guy that has that show, How to Hunt, or what's that guy? He's a guide. He's a
Talking about
hunting
Steve?
guide. How to Hunt. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really watch him.
yeah,
I don't have anything against him. There's so
yeah.
many shows out there, and I'm a dad, so it's hard to do anything other than what I already do and watch after her.
Right. And happy Father's Day, by the way, early.
Thank
And
you.
happy Father's Day to all the dads out there
Thank you
watching.
very much. And yeah, like Lisa said, happy Father's Day, guys.
But I don't know. I think maybe they're curious. I mean, a horse, I mean, if you just look at a horse, I mean, they're a weird looking animal to like another animal, probably, you know?
And Tea Time with Tiffany says, side note, totally pointless. I like hearing Wayne say shit with his accent. Oh, that reminds me, guys. Those of you on here that listen to Paranormal Odyssey, and I hope every single one of you do. Today actually, the second installment of the Unfamiliars was released.
Oh,
Unfamiliars
nice.
Chapter 2. Those of you that don't know, that is a project that Tiffany and I are working on together. You know, Tiffany is a very, very talented author. A few
Yes.
books published now, and working on some more. And she and I are working on this little story. So y'all tune in to see what happens with Hardy.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
thank you. I'm really, really excited about it. Tiffany is a great, great writer. And when we set out to do this, just little fun fact, uh, we came up with the idea together of what the story was going to be. And I asked her, I said, no, I'm not going to include myself in the writing a whole bunch and all that. I just have one request. Can the main character's name be Hardy? That was my grandpa's name.
Aw.
So she went along with that, and I think that's awesome. So you guys tune in to see what happens with Hardy. Like I said, Chapter 2 was released today. Go back and listen to Chapter 1 if you haven't, and then check out Chapter 2. And we're going to be releasing those every Friday. So next Friday, you'll get Chapter 3. What's Pat say? Yes, I did. Jim Myers talking to Dave Eller about Bigfoot banging horses.
Well, hello.
Yeah, we were going to take it in that direction. That's kind of what people were thinking, but nobody really wanted to say it. But I've heard those stories. I have about Bigfoot raping horses. Is that what their interest is? But it's very clearly Patty was a woman, was a
Yeah.
female Bigfoot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't know that her intentions were to go rape a horse, but
No. I think she
there's
was curious. I also think I think there was a baby around there somewhere. And I think I think she was trying to lead them away
yeah,
because she just
Janice.
moved kind of deliberately
Yeah,
away. I don't know. That is still our best piece of evidence. And that is so sad. I mean, with the technology we have today, that's still our best piece of evidence. And I would be interested. I know I was listening to an old show the other day that Brian did, and he had the guys from the North American Wood Ape Conservancy on there. He had one of the guys on there, Dale Collier. I wish those guys would just release everything that they are doing down there.
out in Area X.
Yeah.
I think there's some amazing stuff going on in Area
Yeah.
X. I got a lot of respect for those guys.
Oh,
They
I
catch
have
a
a
lot of,
ton of respect for those guys.
they catch a lot of crap because they are a kill
Yeah.
organization, and they believe that to protect the rest of them, it's going to be necessary to kill one.
Yeah.
And the people on the Woo camp don't say that around them because
Oh, I
they
know.
will not stand for it. Before we go any further, though, Pat says here, don't say it. Absolute BS, man. It's not a thing. So apparently that what he was talking about, the guy's crazy or something. But yeah, I appreciate that, Pat. That's one thing I like about Pat. Pat rubs a lot of people wrong because I mean he's blunt. He speaks his mind, and he's skeptical And I think that's awesome. So I've never had a problem with Pat or anything that he has to say. So
You
take
have to be skeptical in anything. I mean, coming from law enforcement, I mean, you look at the evidence. You
yeah.
completely look at the evidence, and the evidence always leads you.
Pat just said they got kicked out of Area X. Bet you've never heard that.
Oh,
I have
oh,
not heard.
please expand on that, Pat. I
Yeah,
would like to know more about that.
yeah, if you can add
Is
any.
that why that they've gone silent on their podcast and like all their social media is because of that? Please expand on that.
I offered for Pat to come on tonight. Pat's been on a few times on the show. I guess he was busy, but he's here on the live chat. So maybe we'll
Yeah,
get him on here before too long. But yeah, I'd like to hear more about that.
I
I
would.
had no idea that they weren't in Area X anymore. But that
I didn't
Tag
either.
7, are you familiar with Tag 7?
Yes. Yep.
That was brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
how they come up with that idea to connect those sensors to those little barbs or those
Yeah.
bars and hang them up in the air where only a Bigfoot could track it, could snag it. I think that's really cool.
Oh, I think it was brilliant. They were kicked off the property was a big deal. Yeah, they were leasing that land down there. I believe they were leasing that. They were leasing that land, but I didn't know that they were kicked off
I had
of
no
that.
idea either.
So are they have they moved to somewhere else, or are they just disbanded? I mean, that's my question. Or maybe they found something they didn't. I mean, who knows? I mean, let's get in the conspiracy part of it. Were they kicked out for a reason? Let's stir that hornet's nest.
Oh yeah, we don't need to add anything else. I don't. We got plenty of controversy in this community.
He said, bunch of guys playing in the woods, trying to kill a Bigfoot. That's a great white hunter fail. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, those were the topics that I wanted to discuss. And like always, when you're having a good conversation, the time absolutely flies because we're coming up on an hour again.
Wow. Very quick.
So yeah, you got anything that you want?
I sent you a graphic, if you can throw that up at some point, about the movie, and if you want to. Like I said, it came out today. Hope everybody gets to see it. Very sweet dad movie for Father's Day.
Okay, well, keep talking for a minute.
And stars Justin Gaston, Mariel Hemingway, Chris Michaels, John Laughlin, Justine Alpert. She's a newcomer. She's an amazing actress. She's really sweet. And JJ Miller is our little child actor, and he is the sweetest little boy. Y'all will all fall in love with him. But Justin Gaston, y'all just need to remember this name. Phenomenal singer, phenomenal actor. This guy is going to blow up at some point. He's really, really good. And then all the music on it: Nora Collins, Drew Baldridge, Kofi Anderson. Amazing little family film.
There you go. There it is.
Yep.
And it was just released. Is it going to be on other platforms?
No, it is purely a PureFlix movie. We did a limited release in theaters, and then we're streaming it on PureFlix. It's a PureFlix original movie. But yeah, Justin Gaston, just remember that name.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm proud of you. I know you're proud of it, and all the hard work that you put into it. And I'm excited about this new one you're working on. It's Cryptids.
Oh yeah, I mean, y'all, this one's a cryptid movie, and it is not a PureFlix movie. It is a totally different movie, and yeah, it's that.
Is it a horror movie?
I can't really talk about it yet. When we get closer, but it is a cryptid. Yeah, it is a cryptid movie, and I will leave it at that. And then another movie, I didn't work on this movie, but a friend of mine worked on it. It's called Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. And if y'all will Google Nandor Fodor, He was a paranormal investigator in England in, I think, the late 1800s or early 1900s. But very interesting character. But he was a paranormal investigator. And yeah, interesting movie, Nandor Fodor, that comes out in September.
All right, so congrats, Lisa. Looks like a good movie.
Thank you. The music on it, y'all. I'm telling you, if y'all like country music, the music on this is phenomenal.
Very cool. It is our cue time to get out of here. Again, guys, all the men out there, happy Father's Day.
Yes, happy Father's Day.
There, I was blessed with not only a great father, but the best man I have ever known was my
Me
dad.
too.
Love him very, very much. Thank you for all you do, Dad. And my kids are already talking to me about what we're gonna do. So
what are you gonna do for Father's Day?
A couple of them are taking me to Top Golf.
Fun.
I'm gonna go hit some golf balls and do all that cool stuff. And I'm going out on the boat with another one on Sunday.
Fun. So. Well, I lost my dad a few years ago. Miss him dearly. Amazing man. But my husband has done an amazing job with our kids. So happy Father's Day to my hubs.
Happy
and
Father's
my brother. Both my brothers are amazing dads. So happy Father's Day, Dave and Kenny and Race and all the dads out there.
Pat is asking, does Lisa work on documentaries?
I have worked on a few documentaries, and if you want to shoot Wayne a message about anything, he can send me anything you want to talk about. I'm always interested in documentaries.
All right. All of that being said, guys, hope y'all have a great rest of your night tonight. Great week. Y'all be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.
And have a great weekend. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.